Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Happy Thursday to everybody hanging out there. You guys are amazing for dropping in. I know it's relatively early, just after 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, September 25th. And we've got a fun little Tiermaker live ranking where you guys get to do all of the voting. These have been really fun. Previously, we did horror franchises, which was nuts. There were like 63 entries or something crazy. And then just the other week, we tackled slasher villains. So one thing I wanted to do, just now that we're in spooky season, is break down each slasher villain's franchise. So we're going to start with the big three, and we're going to go in the order that I see them in. So number 3 out of the big three for me is A Nightmare on Elm Street, our guy Freddy Krueger. I don't know what it is. The monoliths that just walk around and kill people, I guess I just find their movies more entertaining. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that, honestly, with The Nightmare on Elm Street, I just think it's kind of a, there are a few movies that really stand out. There's one I really enjoy as well that's just outside of those three, but I think it's a relatively, overall, I don't know what it is. It just doesn't grab me. So maybe it's that the bad is really bad when it comes to A Nightmare on Elm Street, or at least the Freddy is really bad sometimes in those movies. But anywho, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I certainly do appreciate it. Big shout out to our Patreon members and our YouTube channel members, and of course our group of Death Squad mods. You guys are awesome, and we're pretty much just going to get right to it, guys. The boys over at Good Real Hunting have a stream here in about 45 minutes. So these usually go pretty quick. So I don't think we're going to eat too much into their stream time, but that is the stream to be checking out later on after this one. So I'm going to say what's up to everyone, and then we'll just get cruising. Just so you guys know, there is a poll in the chat. I'm curious to know your thoughts on where A Nightmare on Elm Street sits for you in the big three. I've also got a super chat goal. So if you guys want to watch VHS Halloween on October 3rd, which is its debut day over there on Shudder, we can host a public watch party of that the night it comes out. Everyone can grab their popcorn, their favorite blanket or pajamas or whatever the heck they want. We can all settle in over on Discord and watch the movie together for the very first time. So that should be fun. It looks like we've already got one in there that we'll get to here shortly. Super chats are not required. It's just a little extra something, so I can give you a little extra something. How about that? And then the website that we're going to vote on is Tiermaker. So that link is pinned in the chat, so you can head on over there. That way, when we're ready to start voting, you've already got it pulled up. So I just wanted to let you know. And I would say if you haven't seen the movies, well, I would imagine you guys have all seen these A Nightmare on Elm Street movies. But if you haven't seen it, I would just withhold voting. That way it doesn't screw the whole thing up. But whatever. I'm not your parents. I'm not here to tell you what to do. We got Shot by Shot in the house, one of our great channel members. How you doing, SBS? Always a pleasure to see you. Shot by Shot is pumped because if I remember correctly, A Nightmare on Elm Street is his favorite of the big three. There you go. We got Ashton Luck in the house. How you doing, Ashton? We got Chester Franklin Jr. What's happening, Chester? Lamontre Gillard. How you doing, Lamontre? We got Paula Fitzhenry. What's up, Paula? Always a pleasure to see you dropping on in. We got Brett from Good Real Hunting, one of our great channel members, and Death Squad mods. How you doing, Brett? So good to see you. We got Denise Wheat, one of our Patreon members and YouTube channel members. How are you doing, Denise? Always a pleasure to see you popping on in. Hopefully you will be joining us for Hatchet later. Yes, that's right, folks. Over on Hatchet, later on this evening, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to watch Hatchet on the Discord. So the link to the Discord is in the description. It's absolutely free. The members get some extra stuff on Discord, but most of it is available to anyone. It's a great way to keep in touch with the community in between streams and just to get to know each other a little bit better. So yeah, it's going to be my very first time watching Hatchet, and it sounds like a lot of other people on the Discord, it'll be their first time watching too. So very much looking forward to that. And I think, Denise, you said it's a good popcorn movie. Shut off your brain and enjoy the slasher kind of movie. So I'm really looking forward to it. We got Gene Whitcomb in the house. How you doing, Gene? Love having you join us. We've got Teal Kit. Says, looks like Davey is everywhere. Sandman, Drum Dums, laugh out loud. Yes, I am all over the place. So Guys, I'm just like you. I'm a huge nerd for all of this content. I love YouTube. I love jumping in on the live streams. I've been part of this community for a really long time. Only been doing the content creation for the last couple years, but I've been around even before then. So great to see. It's great to see you as well, Teal Kit. I'm going to assume that you're happy to see me since you're over here. Yes, you are on time for the party. We haven't quite started yet. We got Gory Tiger in the house. How you doing, Gory Tiger? So great to see you. Blu-ray Addict, what's up, Blu-ray? We got Hollywood Lido, says, damn, wish I wasn't at work for this one. Don't worry, Lido. We still have to figure out a time, but guys, Lido's going to join us on a live stream this spooky season. We're going to talk A Nightmare on Elm Street because Lido is a huge fan. So we're going to see if maybe, some of his enthusiasm can rub off on me. Again, it's not like I don't hate or dislike this franchise. I'm just not as hot on it as I am with Friday the 13th and, of course, with Halloween. But I don't know. I'm of the mind that every time you go back and experience a piece of art or any sort of artistic work, that there's an opportunity to see something different in it. So maybe Lido can help give me some perspective. We got Joel from Dark Room Reviews in the house. What's happening, Joel? How are you doing? And holy cow, guys, Amanda Mendoza drops $4.99 and says, hey, all, can't join, but wanted to say hi. Let's get the superstar goal for the watch party. Yes. You know what? You are all superstars in my mind. Amanda, thank you so much for the $4.99. I'm sorry that you can't join us. You could always watch the replay. The replays are fun. It sucks that you can't take part in the voting, but at least that way you can give us your reaction there in the comments after the fact. Let's see here. Who else do we have? And then we'll get rolling. Just want to make sure I'm saying hi to everyone. We got Ben Grimm in the house, one of our great channel members. Ben is very active and awesome over on Discord. And Ben says, best, most inventive kills in horror, not just different variations on stabbing someone. That's a really good point. And I think for me, Ben, it seems to be pretty much it's the main focus of the A Nightmare on Elm Street films, kind of like Final Destination. The main focus is on the creativity of the kills, which I really love. I think a lot of the rest of like the story and the way they handle the characters and the lore just doesn't work out for me as well in A Nightmare on Elm Street. But yeah, the kills are amazing, especially when we're talking, parts 3 and 4. I think those are some of the best. Of course, the first one's got some great kills as well. We got Corey from Wilkie's Movies and Music. What's happening, Wilkie? Corey, how are you doing? Let's see here. What do we got going on? Oh my goodness. I'm hoping I don't have a hurricane hit where I live. Well, yeah, we're hoping as well for you, Gene. Hunker down, take the laptop down into the basement, and just get into the corner. Make sure there's no, loose beams above you or anything. Yeah, are you in the Carolinas? We got Mike Baum in the house. What's happening, Mike? So great to see you. Jason from Backtrack Cinema. What's happening, Jason? Brett from Good Real Hunting drops a $4.99 and says, you the man, Davey. Legend. Thank you so much, Brett. Really appreciate you. Guys, we're almost more than halfway there on the Super Chat goal, but let's go ahead and get this rolling. It looks like I've said hello to everyone in the house. I'm just doing one last check. Adrian James, what's happening, Adrian? We got Daz in here as well. What's happening, Daz? Drum Dums put me onto the channel, Dave. I've explored, and I'm pretty glad that I found it. Hell yeah, Teal Kit. I am glad you found us as well. Everybody, give a nice warm. I know Teal Kit's been in here before, but give a nice warm. It sounds like they've really fallen into the Death Squad grip. So make Teal Kit feel very, very welcome here. Been a viewer like a week and a half. There you go. Well, welcome. Dean Renner, our Triple Threat Patreon member, YouTube channel member, Death Squad mod. What's happening, Dean? So great to see you. Man, I'm glad I'm glad that everything's getting pushed back because more people are showing up. We have 23 people. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content because we are trying to reach 2,000 subs by Halloween. It's going to be very, 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 very close. I don't know that we can make it, but I'm hoping that we can. Denise Wheat doesn't even want to drop anything to say. She's just like $4.99. Boom, there it is. And guys, with that right there, we're 3/5 of the way to unlocking the public watch party of VHS Halloween on Discord. That is going to be the opening night, so that'll be Friday, October 3rd. We can put together that event. It'll be really cool. Like I said, grab your popcorn, put on your pajamas. Thank you so much, Denise, for getting us one step closer. What's happening, Brad Underwood? Hope you are doing well, sir. We got our guy Eli Cortez in the house. What's happening, Eli? Always great to see ya. Holy cow, Matt Facci, Death Squad mod, and a good friend. How you doing? How you doing, Matt? So good to see you. Guys, I'm checking my schedule to see if I've got some time for Matt this coming week. Not that I don't have time, but to make sure that the time that he asked for specifically is free. That's what I mean. So you may see me on Facci Cinema unless he's already found somebody else. Maybe he has. We got Jeff from John Doe Juggalo in the house. What's happening, Jeff? So good to see you. Okay, guys. One last reminder on the whatchamacallit on the poll in the chat. 32 votes. Dang, should I close that out? I'm gonna leave the voting open on that one. But yes, guys, let me go over to let's see here. Gonna reload the page there for the Tiermaker. Guys, the link is in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. So jump on over to Tiermaker. We're gonna get going with our A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise ranking, and this is gonna be you guys picking, you know, where these movies land. So our 5 categories that we've got This Is God. And then we have You Are All My Children Now. Followed up by Welcome to Prime Time, Bitch. And then we've got How's This for a Wet Dream? And finally, we've got Always a Disappointment. The full line, guys, is Kids, Always a Disappointment. But I didn't want anyone with kids to feel bad. So there we go. Those are our categories. Let me know, is everybody over on the site? Is everybody ready to vote? Looks like we have 23 of you. I want to get as much participation as possible just so these can most accurately reflect your feelings and your thoughts on the A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. You know what I did here, Daz? Is I rank. So the first one is from the first movie. The second one's from part 2. The third one's from part 3. How's This for a Wet Dream? I think that's from part 5 because I quite like part 4, so I figured I would leave it out. So I just went like in order of the movies. So the Always a Disappointment is from 5. How's This for a Wet Dream? I think is from 4. So that I just went with Freddy quotes. But we know how the rankings go. It's best to worst. So is everybody ready to go? Is everybody ready to go? Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get this rolling with the original A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. And here we go. All right, what's it going to be on the original A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984? Starring Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp, and Robert Englund. Directed and written by Wes Craven, of course. This one is my favorite in the franchise. Easy. So I'm curious to see where you guys end up putting it here. It looks like we're 100% in This Is God out of the 8 voters. So we've got just under a minute left that I'm seeing here for you guys to vote. All I have to say is you are wrong. The remake is in the middle. Well, Medley Man, you can have a direct effect on that, you know? I thought Wet Dream was the remake. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I was looking up quotes from specific movies, and I found, and that was one that I found. I can't remember. Wet Dream is 4. Okay, there we go. A lot of talk about Wet Dream. Wet Dream is... 3 is better than what? I need some context in the comments. Yeah, I mean, not only Heather Langenkamp, Johnny Depp, and Robert Englund, of course, but John Saxon. I love John Saxon, especially when he's playing a cop in a horror movie. I think he's a good, kind of a good bad guy as well. And then you've got Amanda Weiss here as well. Charles Fleischer, who was the voice of Roger Rabbit. Holy cow. I'm going to pause the voting there. I didn't know that it already went to, I thought it was going to go in order of where they were down here, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was just going to jump right over there to the remake. But okay. So we're putting a hold on the remake votes right now. Let's see here. Okay, I guess we can just keep on rolling through. What's happening, Jamie? How are you doing? One of our great channel moderators, the original Death Squad mod and our mama mod. But I'm curious to know, as we go through here, through each ranking, feel free after you vote to give your thoughts on each one of these movies. So let's see here. Let's jump back on over. The original Nightmare on Elm Street had 12 voters, and all 12 picked This Is God. So there we are. There we are with that. And we're going to go ahead and resume the voting for A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. There we go. That one has resumed. So jump on back in there and place your votes. The remake is the worst film in history. It's one of them. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty damn bad for sure. Let's see what you guys got. This 8 votes. It's in Always a Disappointment. How fitting. How friggin' fitting here. And we got 36 votes on the poll in the chat. It's really tight between the best one of the bunch and right smack dab in the middle. I'm surprised. I thought we had a lot more Halloween and Friday the 13th fans here. But apparently we've got a big contingent of A Nightmare on Elm Street fans. Jamie, did you see all of these movies in the theater other than the remake? I don't know. Maybe you did see the remake in the theater. It's up for voting right now, Medley Man. Yeah. It is. It is up for voting now, so you got to jump on in there. Oh, it is from Freddy's Dead. Okay. I thought it was from part 5 because it's got the kid in there. All right, we are moving right on into Freddy versus Jason. I'm going to put a pause on that. Let's see. Let's take a look at what happened with A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. Let's see. Had 12 votes. 2 of them went into How's This for a Wet Dream. 10 of them went into Always a Disappointment. So Medley Man, you lied. You did not vote S tier on this one. So you had your chance and you blew it. All right, guys. Freddy versus Jason. I'm curious to see where y'all put this one. So I'm resuming that one. So jump on back in. So Medley Man, there is a link pinned in the chat. You're going to want to click on that because we're doing live voting on Tiermaker. It's live voting on Tiermaker. Yeah, link pinned in the chat. I thought I said that. I think I said that. Maybe you just weren't in here yet. All of them except for Freddy versus Jason in the remake, but I did see all the rest in the theater. There we go. Look at that. Shot by Shot giving us all the love here. I'm watching the stream on my TV, got to pull up on my iPad and chat on my phone. So hopefully we're getting 3 times the watch hours from Shot by Shot. That's the way to be, SBS. Thank you so much. All right, so Freddy versus Jason, we got 12 votes. It's right in the middle. It's right there on Welcome to Prime Time, bitch. So let's see how that lasts this last 20 seconds. Yeah, it's something we've been doing this the last few weeks there. So yeah, I think this is our 3rd live Tiermaker ranking, but really, really cool. So feel free to jump on in. I don't think your S ranking would have helped for for the remake or anything like that, but we can act like it's in there. Okay, guys, so Freddy versus Jason after all of the votes. Let's see here. 15 votes came in, and it's smack dab in the middle on Welcome to Prime Time, bitch. Looks like Welcome to Prime Time, bitch got 7 of the 15 votes, and the rest of the votes were spread out. No Always a Disappointment, so that's good to see. And yeah, Freddy versus Jason. You guys know how I feel about Ronnie Yu. I don't know. Maybe some of you don't. Teal Kit's new here, so maybe Teal Kit doesn't know. The Ronnie Yu movies, he's got such a specific style. You can tell, like Bride Bride of Chucky, Freddy versus Jason, very similar look and feel tonally. The soundtracks are really similar. So he's got his style. There's something about the Ronnie Yu style that feels so stuck back in that late 90s, early 2000s. And it just hasn't aged well for me. So like I can have fun with Freddy versus Jason, but I don't, when I'm watching it, I don't think to myself like, oh my God, this movie's amazing. Like it's fun enough every few years, something like that. We got Sergeant Shitty Pickle in the house. What's happening, Shitty? Yeah, guys, if any of you are new to the stream, there's a link pinned in the chat. That's where we're doing all of the live voting here. So we're going to get this rolling over on Tiermaker. Up next is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That is the next one up. So what? This is 1994, I believe. Of course, starring Heather Langenkamp. John Saxon is in there. Miko Hughes. Wes's return to the directing chair for A Nightmare on Elm Street. And I really like this movie. I don't know what it is. It's just something about it really works for me. Holy cow, we got Destiny Faulkner in the house, one of our great Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Des? So good to see you. If you want to take part in the voting is all over on Tiermaker, and that link is pinned in the chat. Yeah, it's certainly a fun movie, Jamie, for sure. Hey, more power to you, Shitty. I think it's fun. I just don't find myself like craving to watch it. You know what I mean? Holy cow, guys. We have over 30 people watching right now. Make sure you guys have hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. All that fun stuff. We have a poll going in the chat. And we even have a little super chat goal. So if you guys want to watch VHS Halloween on the day that it comes out over on our Discord server, then we just need 2 more super chats of $5 or more, and we'll get that going. All right, 5 seconds left. It is coming down to the wire. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to pause that. All right, so Wes Craven's New Nightmare is right up there next to the original in the This Is God category. It received 13 votes, and 6 of those votes were in This Is God, so that's what put it over the top and into that category. Just next to the original. Okay, let's go ahead and see what you guys are saying. If you guys are saying anything, we got Daz drops New Nightmare was my first DVD. Oh yeah. Craven. Exactly. All right. Looks like we're all caught up with you guys. Let's go ahead and cruise on to Freddy's Dead. The final Nightmare. Holy cow, where's this one gonna go? Damn, starts out in Welcome to Primetime, bitch. That is surprising. Holy crap, is that where it's gonna stay? Oh, just like that, it shifts all the way down to Always a Disappointment. We have just over a minute left to vote on Freddy's Dead, the final Nightmare. And guys, I almost named this category You Forgot the Power Glove. But I went with Always a Disappointment because although I think the Power Glove line is the best line in the entire movie, it doesn't really like say anything negative about it. All right, so just about 40 seconds left on this one. Sergeant Shitty says, fuck, Freddy's dead. Ashton is like, oh Lord, Freddy's dead. Destiny says horrible. But there's a Twin Peaks reference. So, every cloud has a silver lining. Right, Des? Right? Wait, Fred, you guys are going too quick for me. Freddy's Dead was anything but a nightmare. It kind of is a nightmare in a different way, right? I'd love to get any enjoyment from Freddy's Dead, but I just find it terrible. What about the Goo Goo Dolls song, right? I think the Goo Goo Dolls song, that's pretty all right. So let's see. We are just rounding this one out. Okay, so Freddy's Dead, how did this one shape up? 15 votes. 8 of the votes went into Always a Disappointment, which puts it there. 4 votes in Welcome to Primetime, bitch. All right, and then 3 votes into How's This for a Wet Dream. So there we go, right next to the remake. I think that's a good fit. I think those two fit together very, very well. Let's move on to our next one here. Which one are we getting? Oh, A Nightmare on Elm Street 5. The Dream Child. This is the movie in the franchise where I'm like, dude, you guys are asking way too much. So, like, what, in part 3, he comes back because a dog pees on him, or pees on his grave. In part 4, I can't even remember how the heck he comes back. Somebody that didn't even know he existed thought about him for some reason. And then in part 5, they're like, no, the baby is able to understand the mom's dreams, and the baby, even though it's this tiny thing in the mom's belly, has the power to bring Freddy back. It's just asking a lot. It's getting pretty ridiculous. And I know the lore in the other movies gets pretty ridiculous, but yeah, the way that they bring Freddy back and the way that they kill him in each one of these movies just gets sillier and sillier. Medley Man says this is the absolute worst one. I don't think it's worse than Freddy's Dead. Although, man, it's right there. Okay, so part 4 is where the dog pees fire. Okay. They blur together, man. These movies just don't stand out to me, and I've seen them so many times. I think that's another reason why it's the number 3 in my big 3 ranking. I did get it wrong. Canceled forever. Canceled forever. Yeah, I really like 4. I'm falling more and more like in love with 4 as time goes, as I, keep on watching it. So there we go. A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. That one is all wrapped up. Let's see what we got. It is in always a disappointment, along with the remake and Freddy's Dead. And really what put it there was 7 of the 14 votes. So 50% of the voting put it in always a disappointment. Okay, well, I guess at least we're getting to the movies, or a handful. I think the next group of movies we're all going to be a lot nicer to. So let's see what we got next. All right, part 4. I really like part 4. I like it quite a bit. So, I don't know. I think I would put this one, and I'm not going to vote. I'm going to let you guys do it. I think I would put it in You Are All My Children Now. I don't think it's quite top tier, but I really do dig it quite a bit. No, I can't stay mad at you, you handsome bastard. Well, I appreciate that, Shitty. Thank you so much. Part 5 isn't that bad, says the guy that doesn't like Michael Myers. How can we trust you? How can we trust you, Shot by Shot? Hoping the uncut is in the new box set. Uncut of, is it 4? Or was it 5? 4, I think. 4 is my favorite of the sequels, says Daz. There you go. Guys, just about 40 seconds left to vote for A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. The Dream Master, and right now it's in You Are All My Children Now, which is an empty category. So a little bit of an empty category. Let's see where we got it. 16 votes so far. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for the participation. If you're voting, make sure you hit that like button on the stream as well. It helps us be seen by other folks out there. Holy cow, we are down to the last 10 seconds of this voting block for A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Man, the montage at the end of this movie. Okay, let's talk about this one for a second. So, I always figured it was like the first one, Dream Warriors and Wes Craven's New Nightmare were like the best in the franchise. But the last time I watched these movies about a year ago, I was like, damn, I really liked part 4. I love the kills. I like the montage when what's her face? Why can't I think of her name? Is it Alice? When she's like getting ready to fight Freddy and she's putting on, she's wearing an article of clothing or an accessory from each one of her friends to like power up. And you got the Dramarama song, that Anything, great track. There's just something about A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 that I'm really, really warming up to. So I'm going to see what you guys are saying, because it looks like the chat is kind of going here. Uncut of 5. Okay. Blu-ray Addict says 4 has my favorite soundtrack in the franchises. Yeah. 4 has my favorite kill, the Cockroach Motel. There you go. 4 is not better than Freddy versus Jason. Oh, I think it is for sure. Yeah. Uncut 5 is on Laserdisc and VHS only so far. Okay. I prefer Alice over Nancy. Always identified with her more as a kid. Yeah. Alice does kick ass. Yeah. I don't like how they killed Kincaid. Well, I don't like how they killed any of those characters off. It's unfortunate. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen the Dream Warriors live longer. It would have been nice. You know, similar to like Rachel in Halloween 4, you know, killing her off so early seems like it wasn't very well earned. But okay, let's take a look here. 17 votes. It ends up in the second tier here. You are All My Children Now. And it ended up that way because 10 votes, 59% of the voting went into that category. So no one put it in Always a Disappointment. So quite a bit of praise there in the voting population for A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. And let's go ahead and jump into the next one here. What do we got? There it is. Dream Warriors, folks. Is that going to be in This Is God? I would imagine so. Ooh, I don't know. I might put this one in You Are All My Children Now. I don't know. It's really fun. I can't hate on Dream Warriors just because it's arguably the most popular in the franchise. That's not a reason to hate on it in and of itself. But right there, it's moved into second place voting overall. We have just about a minute left to vote on Dream Warriors here. 3 is my favorite. Don't disappoint me, chat. It doesn't look like they're going to let you down. It doesn't look like they're going to let you down. Dream Warriors is my favorite in the series, says Jamie. Yeah, you are not alone, miss. Yeah, it is good, Chester. Dream Warriors is good. Dream Warriors was one of my sexual awakenings. You all know the part. It might have been one of mine, too. I don't know. Let's see, the Open Your Heart music video by Madonna, I think, was the big one for me. New Nightmare is not better than Dream Warriors, but it's close. Well, right now, Dream Warriors is closing in on that second spot, so it looks like it is edged out the Wes Craven's A New Nightmare spot. So let's see, we got 5 seconds left to vote. Voting is closing right now. And let's talk about this one, guys, because it is, I would say, the fan favorite. I like the first movie more. And I'm really, really close when it comes to the Dream Master on Dream Warriors, for sure. But this one is, it feels like so much fun. I mean, it feels like a video game, which is why they based the video game off of this movie. I wish we got more Dream Warriors action, because I think there's so much potential there. So, I wish that the teenage characters kind of unlock those powers and we got to see a bigger, better battle with Freddy. That's really my only complaint. While some cool things do happen in the second to third act of this movie, I do think it could have been stronger, actually. And I think if they told this kind of story today, we would get something a little closer to like a superhero kind of feel. But of course, budget limitations and where effects were and all that stuff. I think that they could have gone bigger and better here, but I do think Dream Warriors is a damn good time. I don't really have any complaints about it. But here it is. It is in the second spot. So we got 16 votes on that one. 11 of the 16 votes, or 69%, nice, ended up in This Is God. So that's why it's there. And really, you guys only voted the top 2 categories here, which is speaks very, very highly of Dream Warriors. So it's right there in the number 2 spot. And let's go ahead and see what you guys have got to say. I know you guys, let's see here, have already been chit-chatting about this one. Jamie says Dream Warriors was so much fun in the theater. For me, it's a top 5 of the 80s. All right. The OG used to be my favorite, but this one's so much has so much better characters. Okay, yeah, there's just something about the first one, like the way Freddy is portrayed in the first one is, I think, what puts it up top for me, Ashton. But yeah, I think this movie is a lot more fun and probably easier to watch, for sure. I know, right? It's overrated by a bit. Yeah, I mean, I thought you really loved this franchise. So where do you rank Dream Warriors in your ranking there, shot by shot? Just got mine in the mail. Can confirm 5 is uncut. All right. Hell yeah. All right. Ben has already got his A Nightmare on Elm Street box set. Holy cow. Guys, let's go ahead and continue with the voting. The next movie up is A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. And if you're new to the stream, the link to vote is pinned in the chat. So we're doing live voting over on Tiermaker. This is kind of a new feature that they have. I really dig it. So there we go. We got A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, or just A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. A little over a minute left to vote on this one. And it's bouncing back and forth between top tier and second tier here. We've got 8 votes so far. 9 votes. All right, we got some movement. Yes, get in your votes, everybody. I know we got some stuff to talk about with this one. I think this one is overrated. That's what I would say. Holy cow, we got Skate Punk. Ooh, is that a straight edge Skate Punk with the X's on the outside of the name? Could be. I'm grew up listening to a bunch of skate punk there. Skate Punk. Who's your favorite skate punk band? Like, for me, it's like NoFX, Pennywise, a little bit of Rancid, some Bad Religion. I'm a huge Face to Face guy. I know maybe that's a little poppier than skate punk, but all those bands kind of rolled together. And Skate Punk says, hello, I'm new here. Debating on purchasing the new 4K 7 movie collection. Well, Ben Grimm in the chat just got his, so maybe Ben can tell you if it's worth it. I know that Dean ordered one as well. Let's see. So yeah, maybe they can tell you a little bit. Event has ended. What's going on here? Wait, is that it? Oh, the event has ended. I just blew through the whole voting process of Freddy's Revenge, just talking to you guys. But welcome on in, Skate Punk. Hopefully you're having a good time. We'll go over all the results here, guys, in just a minute. Everybody welcome Skate Punk into the chat. Shot by Shot says I might have trash takes, but at least I don't like the most basic. Also, it's my third behind 1 and 2. Okay. Yeah, I would put it like second or third best for me, maybe, something like that. The Ramones, all right. I got into the first few Ramones records. Rocket to Russia, I really like that one. Yeah, that's one that really stands out. Let's see, Road to Ruin. I really like Road to Ruin as well. What's happening, Victor E. Merced? Long time no see, bud. Hope you've been well. Okay, guys, so let's just go ahead and take a look at all of these. And I guess what I'll say about Freddy's Revenge, since it's the last one that we voted on, I used to really like this one as a kid. And I've just sort of gotten, I've just kind of cooled down on it a little bit. I don't really like the way they wrote Jesse. Like the whole movie, he's just asking what's happening to him. It's very repetitive. I think Freddy totally rocks in Freddy's Revenge. But I think I like part 4 more than Freddy's Revenge. I think it would push Freddy's Revenge back just a little bit. So maybe I need to update my ranking on these. They might be the same as where they were when I did them about 1.5 years ago or so. But something may have changed. So let's see what we got, guys. Let's just go ahead and look through the votes. So in the category This Is God, we had 33% of the films in the franchise. So the number 1 highly rated or highest rating movie in the franchise was the original Nightmare on Elm Street with 12 votes, and all 12 going to the This Is God category. Now, Dream Warriors ended up with 16 votes. 11 went with This Is God, and 5 went with You Are All My Children Now. That's why it's playing second fiddle to the original classic. And then Wes Craven's New Nightmare is also in the This Is God category with 13 votes, 6 of which are in the This Is God spot. But you guys were a little more mixed on this one, but there it is in the 3rd spot. Now in the 4th spot, starting out the You Are All My Children Now category, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, 17 total votes, 10 of which were in You Are All My Children Now. You guys were a little mixed on this one, but mostly in the B category and the C category there. So it's sitting right there as You Are All My Children Now, which has 22% of the franchise. And its partner for life, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, 14 votes, 7 of which, so half of the votes, put it in You Are All My Children Now. 1 person voted for Always a Disappointment, but 6 people voted for This Is God. So this is a very highly rated, for being in the second tier here, this is a very highly rated second tier film. in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Now moving on over to Welcome to Prime Time, bitch. We had 11% of the franchise, Freddy versus Jason, all by their lonesome self. And I guess that makes sense because this movie's kind of an outlier for both franchises. I would argue it's more of a Freddy movie than a Jason movie for sure, but we can go ahead and include it in our, Friday the 13th ranking that we'll do here next week. But let's see here, 15 votes. 7 of the 15 votes were in Welcome to Prime Time, bitch. Most of the voting in the top to middle. So with 15 votes, this one ends up by itself in Welcome to Prime Time, bitch. No film ended up in How's This for a Wet Dream, so there you go. But we do have 3 in Always a Disappointment. Kicking things off with that category, or 33% of the franchise, the 2010 A Nightmare on Elm Street remake had 12 votes, and 10 of them went to Always a Disappointment. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Now, following that up, we have Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, which had 15 votes, 8 of which were in Always a Disappointment. And also, this one is a trio, and this one kind of surprised me that it wasn't a little bit higher, but 14 votes for A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, and 7 of those 14 votes went to Always a Disappointment. So there it is. There is your A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise ranking that you guys all decided. Let me know in the live chat, how do you feel about the ranking here? I know Medley Man and Shot by Shot are going to have something to say about this one. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you so much for checking out the video. Jump into the comments down below and let me know where you would rank these movies in each category. What your votes would be if you were able to participate there. Very curious to know, and let me jump back in with the chat here and see what you guys are up to. Let's see here. J Beach says this ranking is a no-go for me. Hate to say, I've seen these films decades ago, except one I can't recall any. Well, hey, Jay, spooky season is a great time to revisit a franchise like this. A couple of them are tough watches, but most of them, I would be curious to know, just as a horror fan, what you would think after such a big gap. Basically seeing them again for the first time, what that would be like. Very, very curious there. FVJ is better than Revenge, says Teal Kit. It has elements of what he did in that film in it too. Oh, the taking over of the body and stuff like that. Yeah, a little bit of those elements there. Skate Punk says, I was born on a Friday the 13th, so I've always been biased towards the Jason movies. But I think deep down, I love Freddy more. That takes a big person to admit that, Skate Punk. But yeah, you got to love what you love and not give a fuck what other people think, right? I mean, it's just movies, right? It's just movies, or it's just music. It's like relatively inconsequential. So yeah, I mean, I'm a Michael Myers guy, and I won't back down. I will not back down, just like Eli Cortez won't back down, about asking you guys to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider becoming a member of the mighty Death Squad. Guys, Death Squad, if you want to be part of the Death Squad cult, which are the channel members, it's just $1 a month. And you get 2 streams over here on YouTube. You get 2 streams over on Discord where we watch movies, listen to music. You don't have to bring up your own copy of the film or anything like that. There's a whole bunch of really fun exclusive content. You guys also get early access to the videos as well. We got Kella Cosplays, formerly Toronto Freddy. What's happening, Toronto Freddy? Dropping a $5 Canadian. Says Dream Warriors is top tier. Fun fact, the scene where Robert delivers his most famous Freddy Krueger line is the first time Freddy says, bitch. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for the $5, Toronto Freddy. Always a pleasure having you jump in here. When you said fun fact, I had to give the little Haddonfield, Haddonfield radio, little, what's the word I'm looking for? Shout out or reference there. Really appreciate the $5. And yeah, Dream Warriors right there. Second best rated movie in the franchise, according to all of you who participated in the voting. And there it is. Fun fact, it's the first time that Freddy says bitch. Gene says, the only Nightmare movie I saw in the theater was Dream Master. Yeah, I'm thinking, shit. I only saw Freddy versus Jason in the theater. That's the only one. I don't even think on like a replay I've seen any of the other ones, or like a re-release or something. Yeah, the remake is worse than 5 and 6 for me. Oh yeah, that's why it's the first spot in that out of those 3, because it was the worst rated one out of all of those. Yeah. Yep. In my opinion, the makeup on Freddy in 2 is the best, hands down. It's really good. Freddy looks awesome in part 2. He's all drippy and wet, got the witchy nose and everything like that. I love the look of Freddy in part 2. Yeah, one of the strongest points, along with Clu Gulager. I love Clu Gulager. So there you go. Freddy's top 3 looks are Revenge, OG, and New Nightmare. Boom! Dean put a stamp on it. There it is. Ben Grimm says Freddy's the only slasher with a 1900 or a 900 number and a rap album. That's true. Yeah, not even Chucky did a rap album. Dom B is in the house. What's happening, Dom? Welcome on in to the chat, man. You're kicking it with the Death Squad. Hopefully you're having a great time. And Dom says remake is the worst by far. I find all of the others are at the bare minimum fun. A Nightmare on Elm Street is by far my favorite franchise of all time. Hell yeah, Dom. Hopefully you voted in the poll that we have there in the chat. I'm going to check on that really quick. And welcome on in, man. I'm so pumped that you're kicking it with us. I've got some, one of my closest friends is a massive Freddy fan. He's such a big Freddy fan that he wrote and directed Dylan's New Nightmare, the excellent Nightmare on Elm Street fan film. So welcome on in, man. I'm pumped to have you. Pumped to have you. Yeah, Toronto Freddy in the house. This is God Classic. Welcome on in, Herbert. Hope you're doing well. Holy cow. Denise Wheat drops another $4.99er and says just needed to finish the goal. Well, boom. There it is, guys. We have reached our super chat goal. So on October 3rd, that is a Friday, we are going to watch. Are you ready? VHS Halloween on the Discord server. That's right. We're just going to pull it on over and share the screen and watch it that opening night and see what we think. Thank you guys so much to everybody who contributed. Let me jump into those. Amanda Mendoza with a $4.99 super chat. Brett from Goodrill Hunting with a $4.99er. Denise dropping a $4.99er and not even wanting to say anything. Then we got Toronto Freddy dropping a $5 Canadian and Denise with the $4.99 to finish the goal. Thank you so much, you guys. Hell yeah, that's a good time to close out the poll. How about that? So let's end this poll. Holy crap, 52 votes. Man, I hope all of you people that voted also dropped a like on the stream. You at least liked the stream enough to participate in the vote. So let's see, out of the 52 votes, where everything stands here. It's taken forever to post it. There we go. Out of 52 votes, the question was, where in the big 3 do you rank the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise? And 38% of 52 people said best one of the bunch. 33% of you said right smack dab in the middle. So, man, this is really close. And 29% of you said just not as cool as Michael and Jason. That's pretty tight. I mean, 38% is the clear winner, but wow, between second and third, that's really tight. Thank you so much to everybody who participated in the poll. I love seeing all the participation. So in the chat, in the poll, the super chat goal, all that stuff. Very, very fun. You guys are amazing. Let's see what else. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Saw Final Nightmare in 3D at the theater when it came out. Damn, that's hardcore. I remember when that movie came out because that was when I was getting into the franchise. I was like playing the video game and watching, the movies were coming out on, USA or TNT or whatever, like in the middle of the night around that time. The Crypt Keeper did a rap video. Leprechaun rapped. Yeah, Leprechaun rapped too. Skate Punk says, so the general consensus is that Freddy's Revenge is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I would say a lot of people pin it as a fan favorite or in their top 3. Yeah, I would say so. To me, I think I would rank it 5th in the franchise. But it's like the last one that I really enjoy. So I would go the original, I'll go the original, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Dream Warriors and Dream Master are like kind of tied for me, and then Freddy's Revenge after that. Holy cow, Davey James in the house says, hey everyone, just popping in quick to say my worst is the remake, the best is a tie between the original and 3. See you all at the watch party. Yes, Davey is talking about the watch party on Discord. So guys, we have a Discord server. It's totally free to join. The link is in the description below. And we're going to watch Hatchet from 2006 at 9:30 Eastern tonight over on the Discord. So that's going to be my first time watching the movie. So if you want to jump on into the chat and watch with us, then jump on in. It'll be a damn good time. Do you need to watch A Nightmare on Elm Street in a row, or is it like Halloween, choose your own storyline? It's a lot tighter. I would say, I would say watch them in the order they came out. That's what I would say for sure. Okay, what are we at? Just after 5. Guys, I want to remind you all that just a few minutes ago, or maybe in a couple minutes, Good Real Hunting is going live. They're doing one of their big sort of like tournament bracket ranking kind of things, and they need your support. So check out Good Real Hunting right after this is over. And I think what I'll do, I'll just leave that up on the screen for right now. And yeah, let's see here. I suppose we might as well just close this bad boy out. Kind of a quick one, guys. Usually, for all of you who are relatively new, I cover the news on the channel quite a bit. I have guests on, other content creators or performers or artists to discuss what they do, and also have kind of topical discussions with them as well. We do watch parties here on YouTube, but more frequently so on the Discord. So come and join us over there. And yeah, I've got a whole bunch of fun stuff lined up for spooky season that I'm really excited to show you guys. And one other quick thing, I'm in the middle of my 51st day of no alcohol. So I've passed the 50-day mark. I'm so pumped. Thank you everybody for being supportive and awesome as I go through that. We're just going to keep this one rolling. Here. Skatepunk says, I've always wanted a Nightmare on Elm Street game, but the best we have is a 35-year-old NES game and a Dead by Daylight expansion. Yeah, I actually think the NES A Nightmare on Elm Street game is pretty fun. I dig it. I like it a lot more than the Friday the 13th game. That's for sure. Thank you for posting that, Eli. We do have some merch on the shop. If you're a channel member, you have access to a 15% off promo code. Now you have to go over to the YouTube community tab on the members only section there to find out what that code is. But yeah, you guys have access to that. So if you want to buy some merch, we have a bunch of fun spooky season merch and all that. You can get 15% off, which is a screaming deal. Herbert says, A Nightmare on Elm Street 84 is the best in the franchise. The classic Dream Warriors is one of the best movies of the 80s, but the best horror movie of 1984, Dream Warriors, isn't going to have you scared. Gotcha. Yeah, it's not as scary. That's true. The first one is far scarier. Yeah. Fred Krueger, the name, my name. Elm Street's the place. If you got the time, listen to this, you'll bust a rhyme. There you go. We got Toronto Freddy dropping in the Freddy bars here. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. And on that note, I'll leave that up there. Yes, guys, a link to go and raid the Good Real Hunting stream. I don't want to cut too much into their time. Thank you so much, everybody who participated in the live poll. Really appreciate you guys for participating in the live poll in the chat, because I want to know where you guys stand on your big 3 ranking, or where you place Freddy on the big 3. And thank you so much for participating in the live voting over on Tiermaker as well. I'm having a blast doing these. We're going to put one together for next Friday. We'll do Friday the 13th. So we're going to rank that franchise. That should be super fun as well. Shout out to the Patreon members and the YouTube channel members, as well as our amazing group of Death Squad mods. You guys are so awesome. I will be on Discord later on this evening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow night, guys, I'm going to be over on the Horror Show channel. Keep an eye out. I might go live impromptu from my phone, just behind the scenes, because our guy Cecil Laird is celebrating his birthday tomorrow. So we're going to go over to his house for a big old Horror Show live stream. So you can catch me there. I will share that link once it's readily available. And for now, head on over to Good Real Hunting. Show them some love. You guys have been amazing. I love y'all so very much. Thank you for joining me and spending a little bit of your Thursday night with me. I will see you next time around. But until then, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.